Welcome to our skin lifting and tightening event. We're so glad you're here, and we're going to respect your time and dive into this incredible technology. Make sure to stay to the end because we are going to open the floor so Eden and I can answer any questions that you have about the Sofwave technology. As long as you come in for a free consult in the next 10 days, you are going to have access to our introductory pricing. And don't forget, one lucky attendee is going to be notified via email that you won Sofwave on an area of your choice. So stay for the full event.
What is Sofwave and why we brought it into Bodify? Over the last 11 and a half years, Bodify has become known for a lot of things. Our amazing team, our welcoming spa-like offices, and the way we treat every patient with care. But what we're most proud of is simple, consistently delivering results that people can truly see and feel. We take that responsibility seriously. That's why we only bring in technology that's proven, safe, and effective. And that's because your results are our reputation. Our patients have been asking for a way to lift and tighten aging and loose skin without downtime, surgery, or needles. And now we have it. Sofwave is an FDA-cleared technology that uses ultrasound to penetrate the skin to the perfect depth to stimulate the production of collagen and elastin. It delivers natural-looking results without the trade-offs. We're thrilled to offer it because it checks every box that our patients have been looking for. Safe, effective, and results you can actually count on. One of the biggest questions we get is, how is Sofwave different from all the other skin tightening devices out there? The truth is, Sofwave is in a class of its own. Let me share the top 4 reasons why. First, it delivers 7 precise beams of ultrasound energy to go straight to the layer of the skin that we are ideally searching for, the mid-dermis, where collagen and elastin are built. Second, it heats up the tissue enough to wake up your body's natural repair process without damaging it. Third, it has a built-in cooling system that helps to keep the treatment safe and comfortable for you. And fourth, it works for all skin types in every season and with no prep or downtime. When you put all of that together, you get real visible results and improvement in the skin without having to step away from your busy life. That's the kind of technology we like and that we're proud to offer to our patients. One of the reasons we're so excited about Sofwave is because of how versatile it is. Things like sagging skin, fine lines, and that frustrating loss of firmness from aging, weight loss, pregnancy, and more. It can be used in some of the most common trouble spots: the face, jawline, neck, chest, brows even, and even around the eyes. Sofwave helps to lift, smooth, and tighten so you look refreshed and youthful. It can also address loose skin on the tummy, the arms, and the legs. There's also a few more bonus areas we can treat with Sofwave, those stubborn acne scars and that stubborn cellulite. If you've ever found yourself looking in the mirror, gently pulling back, thinking, wow, I wish it would stay that way, Sofwave was designed to give you exactly that kind of a lift without surgery or downtime. People often ask, am I a good candidate for Sofwave? The answer is probably yes. If you're starting to notice little changes like fine lines, loose or sagging skin, or just feeling like your face and certain parts of your body aren't as firm or as tight as they used to be, Sofwave can definitely help. It's a great option whether you're just starting to see those early signs of aging, weight loss, hormonal changes, or you're ready for a noticeable lift. And the best part, Sofwave is FDA cleared for all skin types and tones, without surgery, needles, or downtime, which means almost anyone can benefit. It really is about meeting you where you're at and helping you feel the best version of yourself. What is the downtime pre and post care like for Sofwave? One of the things our patients love the most about Sofwave is just how easy it is. There's virtually no downtime. You can come in for your treatment and get right back to your day, whether it's work, errands, or family time. Prep is simple too. No complicated routines or restrictions. And afterward, the most you'll usually notice is a little redness that fades quickly. No needles, no recovery, no putting your life on pause. Just smoother, firmer, more lifted skin that keeps getting better as your collagen naturally rebuilds.
Thank you so much for attending. I hope you are just as excited about Sofwave as we are at Bodify. Just a few reminders, the winner is going to be notified via email so that you can choose to do Sofwave for free on a body part of your choice. And if you come in the next 10 days for a free consult, you will also secure that introductory promotional pricing. I invite you to stay for the next 15 to 20 minutes and ask Eden and I any questions that you have. And the very most important thing is at the end of that Q&A, we are going to send you a text message. And if you are ready to book that free consult and secure that promotional pricing, please respond so we can get you in to one of our 3 beautiful offices. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, very fun. I loved it.
Main star right here, secondary star. So just as the video said, thank you so much for joining. We know with Halloween tomorrow, holidays coming up in busy lives, that we absolutely respect that you're here. Lots of places you could be other than hanging out with us. So yeah, we're going to dive deep into your questions, answer them all, and hopefully see you all in for consultations. So those questions are coming in. Let's start to rock and roll. First question, how many Sofwave treatments do I need? That's you.
Great question. I love that one. So it does depend on where you are in your starting point. So if you're somebody that's looking for something that's a little bit more of a preventative measure, we always say doing 1 treatment on the face and neck is a really good starting point. If you're somebody that's coming in and you have a little bit more laxity, your skin's been through a little bit more enjoyment in life, then we typically recommend more of that 2 treatment protocol there.
So I need none because I look pretty
You're
young.
perfect. You're perfect.
That's on record. Thank you. So someone did ask, great question as well, what happens to fat? So we all know there has been some recent news that there's certain technologies in the aesthetic space where they're really effective, but people are also a little concerned because it might actually be getting rid of some fat in the area. So the great news is Sofwave, using the ultrasound technology, is only going 1.5 millimeters deep. So we're getting it to that mid-dermis, but we are never getting deep enough where that fat sits to negatively damage that or actually destroy it. So we are not going to get rid of any fat with Sofwave, which is delightful because a lot of people don't want to lose fat in their face, which makes sense.
Yep, we want to keep it as long as we can, right? That volume.
Yes. So someone asked about pain. I think that's a really great question. And again, I'm going to let Eden take that.
Beautiful. So we always say when it comes to Sofwave, it's not something that's necessarily painful. There can be a little bit of discomfort associated with it. So we always say it's kind of like you feel nothing starting off. It crescendos a little bit until it spikes to the most uncomfortable point, and then it dissipates away. So it's definitely something that is not a lingering discomfort. It's very much as soon as we're done with that pass on that area, the feeling goes back to normal and you're good to go. So typically people on a scale of 1 to 10 will rate it about a 4. Of course, everybody's tolerance is on, it ranges depending, but the nice part is that we have active control of our settings, so we can get you to a place where we're able to complete your treatment comfortably without compromising your results.
Love that. People always think pain equals better results, and in some cases it doesn't. And as she says, we have active control over that. So open dialogue with our patients to make sure that we get you through them so you can see great results. Yep. One of the other questions that someone asked, which I really appreciate, is when will I see results, and also how long do they last? Such good questions. So first and foremost, hate to tell you all this, but we continue to age for the rest of our lives. By the time we're in about mid-20s, we're losing our collagen and elastin, and that's what kind of gets us to lose some of that laxity in our face and some of that tautness, and we can just kind of look like, oh, it's starting to sag in different places. So even after Sofwave or any other incredible technology, you are still going to age. So it is one of those treatments that most people want to do at least 1 time a year to maintain. But something I was so impressed with is they did half my face when we were trying this out, right? We are like scrutinizing technologies because we know that our patients are going to pay for them and they have to love them. Yeah. So I was like, no, you do this on half my face. I want to see how it feels and I want to see what it looks like. And immediately after the treatment, the side that they did do was actually visibly lifted. And what the person told me, which I loved, was this is the worst it's going to get. Everything from here is just going to improve because this is just immediately after. And now you have, 3 to 6 months to see that final change. I will tell you, I didn't let them not do the other side because I was like, I'm not going to walk around lopsided. So I have done both, but absolutely love it. But maintenance is a great thing, right? We continue to age, so we get to continue to take care of ourselves and invest in our skin.
Yeah.
Very cool. So next question is everyone's favorite. How much does this cost, Eden?
Okay, so we have, depending on your treatment plan, that's going to be the biggest factor, of course, that determines what your exact cost is. So we always welcome people to come in for those complimentary consultations so we can go over those numbers with you. But we do have treatment plans that range anywhere from about $720 to anywhere close to about $2,400. Again, just depending on the areas and what we need to achieve the goals that you're looking to achieve.
Good answer.
Thank you.
So how long is the treatment? Something that is also wonderful about Sofwave with some of the other technology we have, we actually need to numb someone, and that can take up to 75 minutes. Not that we don't love having you in the office, but we know lives are busy and some people don't want to hang out for 75 minutes and then plus the treatment. With Sofwave, there's no numbing, there's no prep work. You come in, you work with one of our expert technicians, and they go right after it. So face and neck, for example, for most people is going to take about 45 minutes, maybe an hour. But again, that depends on what Eden said, which is if you're finding it uncomfortable or you want to kind of ramp down that setting so that you can tolerate it a bit more, we are in full control of that to make sure that we can get you through what we need to and get you that exceptional outcome. Perfect. Oh, another great question. You guys are asking good questions. GLP-1 seems like lots of people are on those. I think I heard that like 1 in 5 Americans or something are on them.
It's the talk of the town, that's for sure.
So what happens if you are on GLP-1 or if you're just losing weight in general? When is a good time to kind of do that Sofwave treatment?
So we always say that it's honestly a really good combo. As people are losing fat with those GLP-1s, it's always smart and a good idea to kind of keep that volume in the areas that we want to keep the volume. One of those areas most commonly being, of course, the face. And that's what Sofwave is going to do. It's going to help promote the production of that collagen, elastin, and hyaluronic acid to help keep that volume again in the areas that we want to while we're reducing fat in those areas that we're wanting to reduce fat with those GLP-1s. So really beautiful combination for sure.
Awesome. So some people have asked, does it work on love handles, which is a body part? We have pretty much a lot talked about face and neck because I think in most people's lives, this is the area that tends to age. They're like, I want that a little bit tighter and I want it lifted. But 1000%, there are people who have lost weight or had kids or just through life changes, their skin on body parts also starts to deteriorate and show signs of aging. So Sofwave can absolutely be used on those parts as well. And a gentleman did ask, hey, what if I'm a little bit hairy? Would I have to shave that? 100% yes. And here's the reason: it would be uncomfortable. So even when we're doing like face and neck, we don't get face and neck, we don't get all the way up into that hairline because for whatever reason, I don't know the answer or why, but those little hair follicles, when we use that ultrasound, it can be a little bit uncomfortable. So again, in the best interest of your comfort, we would ask you that you shave or trim that area just to make sure that we can utilize the technology effectively and make sure that you're a bit more comfortable.
Yeah, we don't want anything in the way of that good contact, that's for sure.
So one of the things that I think is interesting as a clinic starts to offer more things, sometimes patients come in and someone just asks this question. They're like, how do I know what's right for me? You guys offer this and you offer this. Like, why Sofwave? And why is it better than the last thing that you did, a virtual webinar on? And I think that there's a few key areas that Eden really highlighted during that webinar, but let's just talk about two. So we have Sofwave, which is ultrasound, and then we have Morpheus 8, which is radio frequency and microneedling. And so just talk about kind of the differences and what someone would be seeing. Let's specifically talk about face that would be like, hey, this is a Sofwave thing versus an M8 thing or Morpheus 8.
Great question. So we love both modalities. We love both technologies, and we oftentimes love them together. Again, really beautiful combination, but they do really specialize and we use them for different concerns that people come in with. So if you're somebody that's looking for wanting to more of a lifting effect, tightening effect, again, hoping to smooth out those wrinkles in any of the areas, Sofwave is going to be the technology that you're going to want to maybe gravitate towards more a little bit, because that's what it's designed to do. In boosting that collagen and elastin and hyaluronic acid, we're going to be lifting those areas and helping with any areas that do have some sagging. Also a really great technology to help fight those acne scars and improve the appearance of them, as well as help improve the appearance of cellulite. Whereas Morpheus 8, it's a really great resurfacing technology, right? So we're using it again for fine lines and wrinkles, but if somebody's wanting to tighten pores in certain areas, if they have some pigmentation issues in certain areas, that's really where that technology comes into play. Again, with that being said, a lot of the times we have a combination of those concerns, right? So it's really about mapping out those customized treatment plans for our patients that sometimes does consist of multiple technologies that work really well together.
I don't know about you, but when I was in school, 1 + 1 = 2. But according to Eden, 1 + 1 can actually equal an exponential amount other than 2, which is awesome. And that's why we love combination. They just are synergistic and they tend to enhance both of the technologies and the outcomes that you'll get.
Yeah.
I love this question because someone on here is saying, my mom is 65 and I would love to treat them to Sofwave. Is she going to see a difference? One of the best analogies that I heard is, for every decade that we live, sometimes our skin is a little bit more compromised. We've laughed, we've smiled, we've loved, we've cried, we've done all these things. And so sometimes our face or our skin shows that. And what we always talk about is a home run, right? Versus third base versus second base versus first base. And at Bodify, when my sister and I opened it, our biggest intent was when people left here, we wanted them to love the skin that they were in, the body that they were in, and set very clear expectations. So absolutely at 65, if someone does a single Sofwave treatment, you're going to see a lift. You are going to see a visual impact. This is absolutely going to happen, but you're probably going to be at first base. And so maybe you want to get to second base. That isn't for us to decide. It's only for us to say, hey, this is realistically what the technology can do. And then from there, you get to decide, do I want first base, second base, third base? Where do you want to go? And that decision is up to you. But technically, at the age of 65, we would definitely want to, just because we want people to be wowed. We don't want them to feel like they invested this money and it's lackluster or underwhelming. All right, so as we age, collagen production decreases. How does this work on older skin?
Yeah, really good question. Very popular question. The nice part is that no matter what age we're in, every day, unfortunately, we are going to be losing collagen. We're going to be losing elastin. It's just part of, again, living life and enjoying life. The way that this works on anybody's skin is that we're essentially creating controlled trauma to the areas that we are treating with Sofwave, right? So like Jess said earlier, we're penetrating to the mid-dermis, which we know is the optimal layer where we can produce that collagen, elastin, and hyaluronic acid when we cause controlled trauma. So we're causing that controlled trauma, producing the things that we want to produce, that collagen, elastin, hyaluronic acid, and we're not damaging any surrounding tissue in the process. So regardless of age or where you're at in your life as far as laxity goes and skin concerns like that, it's going to work all the same by using controlled trauma to cause our body to want to repair itself back up and heal itself back up, and giving us that lifting and tightening and toning effect.
Yeah, I think not the bigger question, but the more important point is, if you are a little bit older, it's probably more treatments to get you that lift of where you're wanting to go, simply because you already have less collagen and elastin. And so when we're doing that, controlled trauma, there's less, I don't even know what we're going to call it, less things firing off and going crazy and immune responses to do that lifting. So sometimes it does take a little bit more, but that's absolutely okay. And it's just quite remarkable. We've had so many people come in, and it's just really fun to take that photo immediately after we do one side or on the arm or wherever it is. And they're just like, holy wow, like there's so few things that we can do in the aesthetic world that immediately you get instant gratification. I've always said it never existed. And then Sofwave came around. I was like, oh, this is going to be a winner, because as humans, we want to see what we paid for, and to know that's as worse as it's ever going to get in terms of better is really exciting too for people. All right, let's do some other great questions. How large of an area can you treat in one treatment? Because it is no downtime and there's no numbing, we could treat multiple areas if you wanted to hang out and sit there all day. Most people are going to treat a single area, but let's say it's your arms that frustrate you. One of the things that I love about Sofwave is they have really empowered their providers to get exceptional results by creating protocols that actually work. They're not one of those companies that's like, hey, go let loose and have all the fun and let us know if it works. Like, they've really done a lot of studying and a lot of testing. And so they actually have some templates that we're able to use that clearly map out the area on the body to ensure that we're putting enough energy into each of those templates templates in order to get you a great result. So there's no, I didn't do it right and they're not going to get a great result. So it's guardrails that are really, really helpful. But yes, if someone has a larger area, we can treat that larger area. You just hang out with us for a bit more.
We love it. We don't mind it.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be hanging out with Easy E more, right?
Yep.
So someone did ask about the specials. Thank you for asking that. So it is 20% off your first Sofwave, and then it would be 30% off if you got a second one. There really are 3 easy ways to take advantage of this deal. Number 1, we get it. Some people are like, I don't know what I want, and I'm not interested in giving you my money. I promise we wouldn't hold it hostage. If you came in and weren't a candidate, we would refund you, but we appreciate that. So if you come in for that consult in 10 days, we're going to hold that pricing for you. We're also going to shoot you some information after, and there's a link that you could simply hit buy now. All you have to do is buy a single treatment. Again, if you come in, you decide it's not for you, we will refund you. If you come in and you say, wow, I need 2, well, we'll honor that 30% off that second one. And also if you do it in the next 48 hours, we're gonna throw in a wow brow. So what's a wow brow?
Ooh, I love a wow brow. So essentially it's that non-invasive brow lift. So we work around, of course, the eye area to open up the eyelids and again, give your brow a little bit of a lift, makes you look more awake, and it's just beautiful to every treatment or as a standalone.
Love that. So can multiple areas be treated at the same time? Again, they can. It would more be about your day, right? It's just like with cool sculpting or anything else we do, we have people who are like, oh my gosh, I got an hour and then I got to get back to work. With Sofwave, we can do that because there's no downtime. Nobody has visible signs of doing a treatment. And other people are like, I'm ready to hang out with you all day. Bring me some snacks, put on some Hulu and Netflix. I'm going to have some solo time and I'm just going to pamper myself today. So whatever your preference is, we can accommodate. Eden, are there any contraindications?
So there are 3 contraindications when it does come to Sofwave. The first one is that we want to make sure that there's no open wounds or lesions in the treated area.
What about a broken heart?
Oh, well, that one, we won't treat over that. It's totally fine. We'll make you feel better in office. But of course, if you have any broken skin, wounds, lesions, we just want to protect that. So we don't want to treat over it. And that's kind of the case with most things. The second contraindication is if you have cystic acne or any like severe acne that's active at the time of treatment. So we want to avoid that as well. Again, we just want to have really good contact during the treatment with our handpiece to your skin. So sometimes that more extreme acne can get in the way of that good contact. So we just want to wait until the skin heals a little bit. And then the third contraindication is if there are any electronic implants in the treated areas. We don't want to treat over those. But good news is that if there is somebody that has a pacemaker even, we're not going to treat over that area. If you wanted your face and neck, you're totally good to go. So we just won't treat over the specific area that has your electronic implanted device.
I love that there's only 3 contraindications. Sometimes I have type 1 diabetes and I go to look at this up. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's nothing I can do because it's a million contraindications and diabetes is always one. So I was super pumped to know that I could do Sofwave and it was going to be effective and there was no issue for me. Really great questions. Someone said, well, what about different Fitzpatricks, right? There's a lot of people in Arizona, whether it's hot or because of the Fitzpatrick, they're like, oh my gosh, I can only do the treatment in the dead of winter because it's sun. And oh my gosh, I have melasma. And oh my gosh, I'm darker in the Fitzpatrick. Like, is this going to be acceptable? And it absolutely is. And part of the reason is something that's so important with Sofwave is when that piece is hitting your skin and it's those 7 transducers and they're super flush, and we are putting that energy 1.5 millimeters deep, the first second is actually cooling. So we are bypassing that top, epidermis layer. And so it's not an issue. With a lot of lasers and other things, they're not colorblind, and that's what creates the problem. But with Sofwave, it is colorblind. So it doesn't matter where you are in the Fitzpatrick because we are bypassing this layer, just going 1.5 millimeters deep, not going deep enough to destroy fat. And so it really is a perfect treatment for people who want to do it all times of the year, maybe have some melasma and also are like, hey, I don't know if this is appropriate for my skin color, but it is, which is great. All right, let's keep going. Good question. So after you do your initial treatment, how soon do you come back for your second one? I love this. So I'm going to see that purchase, right? You're going to buy 2. I like this.
Yep, that's true. So we always say 6 weeks is ideal in between your treatments. We'd love to see you guys. If we could have you in sooner, we would, but 6 weeks is pretty ideal in between your treatments.
And something that I heard someone say the other day, which was so great, and it kind of like connected for me, because sometimes I'm like, well, why do people do 8 weeks? And why do people some say XYZ? And the reason that she liked this 6 weeks so much is that we've really created that controlled trauma in that area, but you don't want to go back and create more controlled trauma, because you actually need some healthy collagen and elastin there that's not damaged in order to spur those other little boogers to start doing what they're supposed to doing. And so that 6 week period is just really the optimal and perfect time to go back in there and spur more of that collagen and elastin production, and not really cannibalize what we had effectively done for that first treatment session. Another great question, Botox fillers, lots of people use those. Can I do this with Sofwave? When do I do it? What does that look like?
So we always request at least a 2-week buffer, either before or after your Sofwave. Just again, we want to give the skin the time it needs to heal, or we just want to let your filler or Botox settle in before we go in with a treatment like Sofwave. So we just request 2 weeks either before and after. And a lot of people honestly, again, like the combo of the two, because Botox and filler will take care of, certain concerns that they have. And then Sofwave goes in as that really beautiful add-on to help it lift, firm, and build up collagen in those areas that they want to build collagen in.
Perfect. Someone said, hey, I missed the beginning of the event. Is there any way to re-catch this? You bet. You think I'm not going to record this so we can send it to other people? You will absolutely get an email, and it will give you the ability to replay if you want to share it with people. We would love that too. But if you want to just keep watching our cute little faces over and over again, feel free. Someone also asked a great question. They just said, hey, I'm pretty busy. Got it. I'm a mom. Got it. Halloween. Got it. How am I going to get in the next 10 days? We do virtual consultations as well, right? So obviously we love to have people in face-to-face. Something that is amazing about Bodify is you walk, you feel our energy. We offer you coffee, tea, and water, and we really like to connect with you. But we also get that people are busy, so we can easily hop on a Zoom call. We can take a look at your skin. We can talk about your expectations, what's frustrating you. And then we're going to share photos of patients who have done Sofwave, because at the end of the day, I can love Sofwave, Eden can love Sofwave, our other patients can love Sofwave, but we want to make sure when you see the visual change that Sofwave does create, that you're like, I'm on board. That would be exciting and meaningful to me, because at the end of the day, your reputation is our results, and we cannot continue to grow and have the reputation that we have if we're not delivering exceptional results and meeting or exceeding our patient expectations. So that was a really good question.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you are going to get another text message, and don't forget, if you can text smooth, then that will just make it super easy for us to know that you are like, yes, I am ready for a consultation. And I got to be honest with you. Sometimes we do these events and people say smooth or yes, and then I text you back and you just blow me off. And I'm always wondering why you actually do that.
Yeah, it hurts our feelings.
It does, because I'm like, oh, I'm going to send a courier pigeon to that person's house to get them in.
She means it.
So please just know we're not about pressure. We're not about making people do things that they don't want, but hopefully you can just see through our energy and our enthusiasm that we are legitimately excited about this technology. We can't wait to treat as many people as we can in our early stages with it. Over the last multiple months, we are absolutely in love with it. And so many people, Kim Kardashian and other celebrities and dermatologists and people that are very, very reputable are like, Sofwave is taking the world by storm because it's just kicking butt, and we can't wait to be able to share that with you. Awesome. Let's see if there's any other questions, and if not, we will wrap this up.
Oh, I do have one thing to add, Jess.
Okay.
One of the beautiful things with our face packages as well is that we do include a product, an elastin product.
I almost ripped y'all off.
Can you believe it? This is exciting stuff. We include the elastin restorative skin complex in all of our face treatments, which again is just going to help with improving the appearance of fine lines, wrinkles, boosting collagen, elastin, and hyaluronic acid with their trihex technology. And we absolutely love the product, and we love how it works cohesively with Sofwave. I think people are sensing a theme with the collagen, elastin, and hyaluronic thing. We're kind of big on that, but so it's included in everybody's treatments, just a little nice complimentary add-on.
Yeah, I love that. All right, well, that's a wrap. So you get the text, you're going to hit smooth. You guys are awesome. We are absolutely going to notify the winner via email, and you get to say which area you want to do. And everybody else who logged in and watched this, you do get 20% off your first, 30% off your second. If you purchase in the next 48 hours, you get the Wow Brow. And of course, you are also going to get that restorative skincare, because we believe anything we're doing is worth doing right. And we got you. Happy Halloween Eve, and we'll see you guys all soon.
Bye.